Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's the lust of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
Welcome to the first Lakeviewer digital edition of the 2019-2020 school year. This year we will have a larger journalism crew, which will allow us to produce a monthly edition. This edition, we have a quick intro that you've already seen, a principal's press conference, and some sports news, and finally Man on the Street. Now we go to Josie and Reese for Lakeview Sports.
Hello, Lakeview sports fans. It's time for your fall sports update up to homecoming week. With your sports news, here are Reese and Josie Gadsby.
Welcome to the Lakeview Digital Edition Sports Beat for September. The Commodore Perry Lakeview soccer team faced Sharon for their first game of the season and played tough but came short, losing 5-0. The team is looking forward to taking on the Hounds of Wilmington on September 16th. Our fellow Lakeview students enjoy playing with the Commodore Perry Panthers because it gives them a chance to meet new friends. But their biggest challenge this season is playing all boys teams, while their team only has a limited number of boys. The cross-country team started their season at the Hickory Invitational, where the girls came in 3rd and the boys came in 7th. The girls team was led by senior Claire Oliver, while the boys team was led by freshman Colson Jenkins. The girls team is looking forward to districts and states and hoping to continue their undefeated record. The boys team is looking forward to regions. Despite the young roster and injuries to overcome, the Lady Sailors volleyball team came out strong with a gym rocker against Greenville for their first game of the season. The games went 17-25, 25-17, 25-22, 13-25, and 16-14. Leading the team with kills was Olivia Slater with 13 kills. Reese Gadsby led the team with 16 digs and Haven Patton, not far behind, contributing 12. The Lady Sailors currently have a record of 2-3 and are looking forward to their Pink Night game October 9th, where all proceeds go to Yolanda G. Barco Foundation in Meadville. Come out and support your Sailors. Hey Josie, do you know why volleyball players make so much money? I don't know, Reese. Why? Because it's a common practice to tip a good server. The golf team kicked off their season on August 23rd at their first region mega match. Brett Beath led the team, golfing a 74, placing first out of 6 schools. Nate McIntyre followed Beath, placing second with an 83. The team has already clinched the region for the 2019 season for the 5th consecutive year in a row. Great job, boys. The football team hosted West Middlesex for their first home game of the season on August 31st. Although the boys battled hard, they fell short, losing 39-9. The Sailors are looking forward to the homecoming game, where they will take on Seneca September 20th. The biggest challenge the team faces this year is working together, but the Sailors enjoy combining with Commodore Perry because it gives them more people and a bigger family, according to senior Dante Borden. In the future, Borden hopes for increased success as the Sailors have a record of 0-4. Thank you for tuning in to our September Sports Beat of the Month.
Thank you, Reese. The new year is upon us, and with that, plenty of new changes throughout Lakeview. To update you on some of these events, we sent our top journalists to interview our principals.
Do you believe Lakeview Middle High School's dress code has become more strict compared to other schools?
Regarding the dress code, I think it's important to understand how we received the dress code that we currently have. A couple of years ago, we put together a committee of students, parents, teachers, and administrators. We started with the current dress code, and then we changed accordingly. So I think we are right in line with other schools. I know you can check certain things. Some schools don't allow flip-flops, for instance. The school district that I came from, flip-flops were a no-no, but flip-flops are good here. So I think you can narrow it down item by item, but I think we're in pretty good shape. And as Mrs. Snyder and I talked earlier, with the exception of fingertip length, people seem to forget what fingertip length means. And if you keep that in mind for your shirts covering your yoga pants or your dresses or your shorts, with the exception of fingertip length, I think we're in pretty good shape.
What is your vision for Lakeview Middle High School?
My vision for Lakeview Middle High School as we go forward is to continue to provide good quality education for all of our students. We want to continue to add CHS and AP opportunities for students. And we also want to continue to refine our procedures for our graduation project and really be looking at ways that all of our students, no matter what they intend to do after high school, come out with a good solid plan and what they want to do with their lives. So that's something that we're refining as the school year goes on with a committee of teachers as well. Also making sure that we're using our positive behavior systems, our Sailor 200 Club and our Sailor Shift to come together and really be supporting one another, students, faculty, all of us working together.
When and how are the metal detectors going to be put in use?
Metal detectors. Well, if you've probably noticed, we have two. We have one at the main entrance where the students that are dropped off come in, and we have a second down at the gymnasium entrance where our bus students are dropped off. Both of those will be online here probably within the next week or two, and those metal detectors will be used randomly on any particular morning. Mrs. Snyder and I will go to a particular area, and we might have every other bus go through the metal detector. With the students up front, we might do the next 5 students, or we may do every 5th student. We're going to mix it up a little bit. No one will know exactly when they're going to be used, what order they're going to be used, or which metal detector they're going to be used. Again, it's all about keeping the school safe and keeping each of you safer.
Do you enjoy being a principal, and how do you judge your performance?
As to whether I enjoy being a principal, yes, on most days I do enjoy it. I like the fact that things are always different. It's not routine every single day. As far as how I evaluate my performance, just as teachers are evaluated each year, principals are evaluated by the superintendent. We set goals each year, and then we're evaluated on how well we meet those goals. So as far as personally evaluating, I tend to look a lot at the schedule and how the schedule's running and how well we're providing opportunities for our kids and how things work out. I'm always really, really nervous on the first day of school. I'm hoping that everything works out and there aren't any major glitches in the schedule. So once that comes out smoothly, then I can breathe a sigh of relief and move forward. Also, constantly looking for continuous growth and improvement in our scores and in just how we're providing academics for our kids. So we never want to settle and think that it's good enough. So I'm always self-evaluating, is are we moving forward and are we showing that growth? Mr. Blake.
And for me, as Mrs. Snyder said, I do enjoy being a principal on most days. But as I have said a long time ago when I got into education, a bad day at school is still better than most days, doing other things. One of the biggest responsibilities we have as principals is discipline and administering that discipline. And as your parents probably told you more than once, this is going to be worse for me than it is for you, and we take our job very seriously. We try to be very uniform, to be very fair. We try to treat everyone the same and look at each circumstance differently, but under the same microscope. So we take it very serious. And I guess lastly, the last thing, in terms of the job performance for me, the slogan that we have on the front sign, the slogan that you see on the t-shirts once a month that says Lakeview Cares, I like to believe that Mrs. Snyder and I are the leaders in the Lakeview Cares, and we want to make sure, as Mrs. Snyder mentioned earlier, that each of you are taking care of each other. That's very, very important.
Thank Thank you for tuning in to edition 1 of the Lakeviewer Digital Edition. We'll be back next month with another installment.